This episode of Against the Odds is brought to you by Card Kingdom. To pick up the deck and support the show, follow the link in the description box down below. Alright, Against the Odds time. Playing some Chromantiflayer Worship. Oh goodness, this hand in Modern. And this hand's just too expensive. We have no enablers. Yeah, we're gonna mulligan. This hand is the opposite. Lots of enablers, no lands. Alright, we'll try this. I mean, it's about as good as it's gonna get for 5 mana. Chromanticore. I think we'll go to the bottom for now. So, Windswept Heath, go. Hopefully we hit well with this Satyr Wayfinder. Eldrazi Temple. Ban it! Crack Windswept Heath. We'll grab a Overgrown Tomb. Tapped. Well, let's Stomping Grounds, untapped. Run out our Satyr Wayfinder. Ooh, and we mill a Lingering Souls. That's actually perfect. We'll take a Polluted Delta. So Worship isn't just game over against this deck because of All Is Dust, but it should buy us a bit of time. No! No! How does this always happen to me? Oh my god. On the mulligan! Again! How's it always happen? Oh my goodness. That's some good fair magic. Well, Flooded Strand, crack it, grab our planes, flashback Lingering Souls, play Birds of Paradise, pass the turn. Or is this Power Plant? There's a Smasher. Well, good news is we get down Worship, and that means our opponent has to draw one of probably 2 All Is Dust to actually kill us. I guess it's possible they have a Planeswalker, unlikely though. Opponent gets in, down to 8. So we play Worship, play Polluted Delta, get in with our Spirits, crack Polluted Delta before we drop to 1, grab a Breeding Pool, tapped, and pass the turn. Another Tron piece. Expedition Map. Well, opponent's gonna have Tron next turn. Mind Stone. Opponent. I think we chump Matter Reshaper so we can still crack one more fetch next turn if we draw one. Down to 2. Well, let's play Thrun. Get in with our Spirits. Opponent's down to 16. So we're just hoping our opponent doesn't have All Is Dust. Off their double Eldrazi Trample and Tron. On the mulligan. Double Eldrazi Temple is like the new Delver. Opponent 97% to have it if we play against it. And if we played this deck, never. We'd draw our Wastes and our other colorless lands that do nothing. Alright, opponent getting frisky with the Smasher. Sure. We drop to 1. The power of Worship. Alright, well, big Walking Ballista doesn't kill us. Kills a Spirit. It is going to make our clock a lot slower. Kills a Spirit. Kills our birds. Yeah, let's go attacking. Opponent takes it. Down to 12. Well, place Sylvan Carry added. Pass the turn. We could use a flyer. There's a Waste. Basilisk Collar. That's going to make it harder to actually kill our opponent. Opponent gets in. Yep. Gain some life. We need mana. You know what? I think we don't attack. I think we just play Troll Ascetic. And this might keep our opponent from attacking because we can kill it. We can't really Chromantiflayer because it'll just die. Chromanticore. We need to draw 2 more mana and get it on a Thrun. And then it could work. Yep, growing the Ballista. So while they got a million turns to find something, they only have a couple cards that actually beat Worship. Another Mind Stone. I guess they get some redraws with Mind Stone at some point. Sacks Mind Stone. Thought Not Seer. There goes our Chromanticore. Or maybe they take Worship. No, they take Chromanticore. Draws a card. Plays a Waste. Alright, we're going to kill Reality Smasher. Block with Thrun. Block with Troll Ascetic. And then just regenerate Thrun. So, play Tasigur. Pass the turn. Opponent's adding counters. The quips. Alright. Let's activate. Get back something. Alright, Satyr Wayfinder's fine. Ooh, we actually get another activation? Well, play Hallowed Fountain tapped. Pass the turn. Adds a counter. Adds a counter. Another Eldrazi Temple. Goes attacking. Yep. Maybe our opponent doesn't have All Is Dust in the main. That would be interesting. If they actually had 0 outs to Worship. Opponent's up to 31. I don't know why else they wouldn't kill Tasigur. Activate Tasigur. Get back Carry added. Well, I think it's time to Soulflayer and hope for the best. So, Satyr Wayfinder. Mills, nothing exciting. We get a Godless Shrine. So we can make an indestructible, Flying indestructible, but no Chromanticore stuff. Well, play Godless Shrine. And let's just pass. I really would like to get a Chromanticore in the graveyard. That's what we need for our Soulflayer. Also, birds would be fine. I would take flying indestructible hexproof. Alright, they kill our Wayfinder. We're actually okay with that because we're going to mill a Chromanticore at some point. Now they kill Tasigur. So activate Tasigur. There's Chromanticore. Tasigur down. We still would just like to draw Chromanticores for our Thrun. The problem is, our opponent's gaining a lot of life. This match is going to be ridiculous. Goes up to 43. Another Reality Smasher. Not exciting. Soulflayer, exile, Chromanticore, Troll Ascetic, Ronas, and a land. Death Touch, First Strike, Flying Hexproof, Indestructible, Lifelink, Trample, and Vigilance. And then we'll play a Sylvan Caryatid, and pass the turn. Expedition map for our opponent. Cracks it. I honestly don't know if we can win. There's Seagate Wreckage. Chalice on 0. Chalice on 1. Draws a card. Expedition map into the Chalice on 1. Opponent goes attacking. Oh, we kill it! I can't believe our opponent did that. That gives us a chance. Oh my goodness! Whew! I can't believe it! I can't believe it! I can't believe our... Yeah? Okay. Come on, Chromanticore! Come on, Chromanticore off the top. Game on! Birds, not helpful. Play Worship number 2. Get in with our Soulflayer. Death Touch, First Strike, Flying Hexproof, Indestructible, and Lifelinking. Start swinging things back in our favor. I guess we can just flashback Lingering Souls. Pass the turn. Still dead to all his dust. Another Ballista. This match. If we can get a Chromanticore on our Soulflayer. Our opponent's also getting really low on time. Adds a counter. That's a strange technique. You could have added 2 counters when you were casting it. I don't know if we want to kill that. You know what? I think we do. Hopefully nothing horrible happens. Urza's Tower. Alright. Just more mana. Opponent equips. Temple Garden. Well, go attacking. Shoots down our tokens. Yep. Up to 17. Temple Garden tapped. Pass the turn. Ghost Quarter. Draws a card. Alright. Counter adding time. Adds a counter. Not dead yet! Adds a counter. Our opponent might really have to consider scooping because of time. Birds. Well, keep doing the same thing. Up to 21. Pass the turn. Another land for our opponent. And passes. We draw Jace, which will immediately die. Get in with Soulflayer. Up to 25. Pass the turn. Here comes the counters. Oh, it's so ridiculous. Counter, 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 counter. The 4th tower. Opponent passes. Grizzly Salvage is sweet. We will cast that. Looking for Chromanticore, mostly. There's Chromanticore. White, black, blue, green, red. Whatever, whatever. Bestow upon our Soulflayer a Chromanticore. It keeps getting better. Hit you for 8 in the air. Are we actually gonna win? Oh, yes. Opponent's gonna add some counters. They're running low on time now. They can add 5 counters a turn right now. And we still have one more Chromanticore, I think, to draw into. Yeah, one more Chromanticore we can draw into to up our clock even more. Probably should have put it on Thrun. Would have been more damage. But man, it seems so sweet to enchant a Soulflayer that is a Chromanticore with a Chromanticore. And passes. We draw Caryatid. Get in with Soulflayer. Up to 40. Yeah, that was definitely the more competitive line. Play Sylvan Caryatid. Pass the turn. Here comes the counters. At the cost of a lot of time, though. This is game 1, and our opponent's under 7 minutes left for the match. Counter, counter, counter. So they can gain like 20 life whenever they want to. And this all goes for nothing if our opponent draws all his dust. Or Ugin. We're not just dead to Karn. Or even, well, yeah, I guess we would be dead to Ulamog in a turn. Opponent passes. Wooded Foothills. We'll play Wooded Foothills. Get in with Soulflayer. Up to 48. You know what? I think we're going to play this Jace. If our opponent wants to kill it, they can. Crackwooded Foothills. See what's left in our deck. I'll grab a Steam Vents. Tapped. Pass the turn. Opponent's not even adding counters anymore. Plays a Ghost Quarter. They have drawn a lot of lands. Expedition Map gets countered. Lets them draw another card with Seagate Wreckage. Under 6 minutes to go for our opponent in game 1. Kills a Jace. Draws a card. And scoops it up! Soulflayer, Chromanticore, Worship, 20 power Walking Ballista. Doesn't matter. Our opponent can't deal with it. Wow. I wonder if they don't have it in their deck. Okay. So, alright. So, negate. We can go down maybe the Jace. Stony Silence is also good. Let's go down Tassiger. And I guess we can go down the Ronas in this matchup. Alright, let's try it like that. Zero lander. So we got a mulligan. Wayfinder to the bottom. Ghost Quarter for our opponent. And Expedition Map. Come on, land. Grizzly Salvage. Not a land. Pass the turn. Oh, we have Stony Silence too. There's Eldrazi Temple. Come on. Land off the top. Oh no. Oh no. We're gonna die quick. That's the exact thing we had to have not happen. Now our opponent can get a second Eldrazi Temple. Of course. And now they get to start playing big things. We couldn't play Stony Silence. Oh no. Deck. There's Reality Smasher, and that's going to kill us. And we are not drawing lands. We're drawing Chromanticores. Down to 15. Well, there's a land, nice and slow. Overgrown Tomb. Crackwooded Foothills. Get a Forest. Play Sylvan Caryatid. Pass the turn. Probably die. Third Eldrazi Temple. That's a lot of mana. Walking Ballista. X2. Oh, this is the nightmare. Opponent gets in. Down to 7. Passes. We do draw land. Well, I mean, we got to try to get lucky. Grizzly Salvage. That's not lucky. We hit some things we wanted, but we needed a... Alright, pass the turn. We need to grab a Soulflayer. Do we live another turn? Pithing Needle. Okay. I don't even think that's very good. Name's Caryatid. This is a mana ability, though. Oh, so we're just dead, right? Block here. Would we have hit it? We would have... Oh, we would have had it for next turn, too, but we didn't get it. Alright. Well, that was not good, deck. That was not good. We just had to not die quick, but we died quick. Well, I'll run it back. Well, we get to play first. Alright. Alright. This is better. Wooded Foothills. Crack it. Get a Overgrown Tomb. Untapped. Play Birds of Paradise. Pass the turn. Urza's Tower for our opponent. Well, Stomping Grounds. Untapped. Play Fulminator. Destroy the tower. Pass the turn. Another tower. Opponent. Passes. Sacred Foundry. Tapped. Play Stony Silence. Pass the turn. Oh man. Are they still going to just put together Tron? That's crazy. Well, play Polluted Delta. Play Worship. Pass the turn. No! Oh, that's absurd. Reality Smasher. Natural Tron through the Fulminator. Hanger back X1. Oh no. Opponent gets in. Yup. Crack Polluted Delta. Breeding Pool. We draw Steam Vents. Well, play Troll Ascetic. Pass the turn. Oh man. Oh, the amount of variance that goes into this. Triple Tower! Oh my goodness. Oh, there's a Ratchet Bomb. Can be activated, thankfully. Million mana. We basically just lose to All Is Dust. There's All Is Dust. Hooray. Well, Path Reality Smasher. Good lord. Oh, the odds of this happening are 1 in a billion. We get a Satyr Wayfinder. Play Satyr Wayfinder. Takes out Ratchet Bomb. We whiff on lands. Thank you, Wayfinder. Pass the turn. Opponent has Chalice of the Void on 4. And a land. Opponent locks their own... I don't know what our opponent's thinking. Opponent passes. We draw and play a forest. Pass the turn. I guess 4 stops Thrun. Takes up Ratchet Bomb. Takes up Hangerback. 20 seconds left. Seagate Wreckage. 15 seconds left. Opponent attacks. We block. Man, our opponent still might time out if they don't have another threat. Or if we draw something. Ugin the Spirit Dragon. Our opponent's going to time out still. We're going to just barely survive. 2 seconds left. Watery Grave, tapped. 0 seconds left. Opponent still got... What? 0? 0. Oh my goodness, we got there. They did run out of time. Wow, the nuttiest of nuts. And we got there. Thank goodness. Wow. All right, against the odds time, playing some Chromantiflayer Worship. Yep, that's a thing. That's a thing we're doing in Modern. Let's just Breeding Pool, untapped, Birds of Paradise, pass the turn. Double Grizzly Salvage is nice. Blooming Marsh for our opponent. And Fatal Pushes our birds. Well, Marsh flats, crack it. Grab a Swamp, and let's just Satyr Wayfinder. Oh, deck. Wayfinder, why do you do that to us? Well, we milled a Lingering Souls, and we milled our combo. But if we can Grizzly Salvage into our Soulflayer, gonna be good. Let's play Windswept Heath, get in with our Wayfinder. I think our main goal here is to Grizzly Salvage, find Soulflayer, hopefully. And it will be Chromanticore plus Troll Ascetic. Overgrown Tomb tapped. Forest for our opponent. Locks it on Smiter. Sure. Well, let's crack Windswept Heath. Grab a Godless Shrine. Tapped. Grizzly Salvage. Come on, Soulflayer. No Soulflayer. I guess we just take Watery Grave. Grizzly Salvage. There's Soulflayer. Watery Grave. Untapped. And let's play a pretty good Soulflayer. So we exile Sylvan Caryatid, Chromanticore, and Troll Ascetic. And just a random land. Should be a lot of keywords. First strike, Flying Hexproof, Lifelink, Trample, and Vigilance. So not indestructible, unfortunately. Opponent, Secure Tribe Elder, and Smuggler's Copter. No attacks. Well, get in with Soulflayer. Put our opponent down to 14. And then Wooded Foothills, crack it. And I think we'll just take Forest, save the life. Lingering Souls, flashback Lingering Souls. And see if our opponent can beat this Soulflayer. Is this Death Cloud? It could be Death Cloud. Dryad Militant. I actually don't know what's happening. Elvish Visionary. Yeah, I have no clue what's happening. Morph? What? Okay. Well, let's attack with Soulflayer. Hit our opponent down to 10. Let's just Worship. I don't think we really need to flash back Lingering Souls yet. Cruise up the Copter. And doesn't attack with it. And a Kitchen Finks. And passes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh my god. Green, black, red, white, blue. 2 of any color. And you know what? I think we will bestow upon our Soulflayer a Chromanticore. Oh, it's so good. Cruise up the Copter. Sure. We're going to attack. Opponent blocks with Copter, loots with Copter. Discards Ether Vial. Probably a wise choice. And our opponent's dead on board next turn. And now, even if they Wrath, we have Chromanticore left behind. And our opponent scoops it up. Can't beat the Chromanticore. Chromantiflayer Worship. Whatever it is. Super sweet. Let's go down the Jace, up the Damnation. Try it like that. Alright, no payoffs, but we get a quick spin at our Soulflayer. Plains and Dryad Militant. Windswept Heath, crack it. Get a Forest and Birds of Paradise. Pass the turn. Opponent gets in for 2 with the Militant. Yep. So this only exiles instants and sorceries, not creatures. Elvish Visionary for our opponent. Well, play Wooded Foothills, pass the turn. See if we can Grizzly Salvage into the combo. Opponent gets in, 4-3. Yep, down to 14. Swamp and Lingering Souls. Kind of a combo with their own Dryad Militant. Well, let's crack our fetch first. Wooded Foothills. We need a black source. Grizzly Salvage. Mono Birds. Okay. I guess we take a Birds. Well, Watery Grave, untapped. Play our Worship. Pass the turn. Next turn we can get some hexproof things down. Opponent gets in for a bunch. Down to 6. And Secure Tribe Elder. And Wooded Foothills. Opponent passes. We get more Worships. Well, play Sylvan Caryatid. Play Sylvan Caryatid. Play Wooded Foothills. Pass the turn. Opponent cracks Wooded Foothills. Overgrown Tomb. Tapped. Overgrown Tomb. Tapped. Rankers up the Dryad Militant. Well, hopefully our opponent doesn't have Collective Brutality. That would beat us. Crack Wooded Foothills. We'll take Temple Garden. Drop to 1. Hope they can't kill Worship. Down to 1. And Kitchen Finks. Yep. Well, let's play Tasigur, exile a bunch of stuff, play Birds of Paradise, play Second Worship for safety's sake, pass the turn. Opponent Execute Tribelder. Still not exactly sure what this deck is doing. Morph. My guess would be that Stem Protector, but I don't really know. Sylvan Caryatid. Bestow upon our Tasigur the gift of Chromanticore. Yep. We'll go attacking. Sure. Go back up to 9. Opponent's down to 11. Pass the turn. Fleece Main Lion. Man, if we just draw Chromanticore, it's Sylvan Caryatid. Well, let's just get in with Tasigur. I think we'll activate Tasigur once right now. 2 lands. Well, we didn't want to draw those 2 lands. Siege Rhino. I don't think that saves our opponent from Tasigur beats. They're up to 6, but this hits for 6. That was... Oh, man. Siege Rhino's a way that we would lose through Worship, too. Good thing we started gaining life. And our opponent scoops it up, and... Chromantiflayer Worship takes down another one. Sweet. Oh, this deck. Alright, against the odds time, playing some Chromantiflayer Worship, and we got the Worship part. We could use something to get cards in our graveyard, but Worship plus hexproof creatures, sometimes enough to just beat decks, especially game 1 on its own. Valakut. This is one of those decks. Not sure this deck has any outs to Worship. We'll see if they just scoop it up. Overgrown Tomb, Marsh Flats, crack Marsh Flats. We'll grab a Plains and run out Sylvan Caryatid. I guess Anger of the Gods is probably their best way of sweeping away our creatures. Stomping Around, untapped, and Secure Tribelder. Alright, I guess we gotta hope we dodge Anger. Play Sylvan Caryatid. Oh man, if they have Anger, we're gonna lose. Play Birds, pass the turn. Opponent cracks Secure Tribelder. Anger is super brutal. Well, I think we... Grizzly Salvage to find a land. So Grizzly Salvage, take Wooded Foothills, play Wooded Foothills, crack Wooded Foothills, get a Blood Crypt, untapped, play our Worship. Well, no concession yet, pass the turn. Next turn we can get down a hexproof Flying Soulflayer, which does survive a Anger of the Gods. And then that out is off the table. Primeval Titan. Yep. Still not sure this deck can beat Worship. Gets a couple mountains. Well, let's spin the wheel, see if we can get a Chromanticore in the graveyard. There's Chromanticore and Ronas. Oh my lord. Well, we'll take Windswept Heath. And then we will... Oh, this is good game. Exile, Chromanticore, Ronas, Sylvan Caryatid, and Birds of Paradise. That's a lot of keywords. Death Touch, First Strike, Filing, Hexproof, Indestructible, Lifelink, Trample, Vigilance, and then we will Tasigur, Exile, play Wooded Foothills, pass the turn. Yeah, I don't know how our opponent will ever beat Soulflayer Worship. The full package. The full package. Even got the Ronas. So I don't think there's a way this deck can kill it. Opponent gets in for 6. Oh, okay, they got to get the Valakuts. Yep. Stomping Ground triggers Valakut. Now they kill Tasigur. Still not convinced our opponent can beat this setup. Search for Tomorrow. Yep. Maybe they have some way we don't know about, a Beast Within or something to kill Worship. Opponent passes. We draw a Jace. Well, get in with Soulflayer. Oh, we could have blocked. Oops. Duh. That was kind of bad. Play Troll. Pass the turn. Another Titan. Yep. You do that, opponent. They're outless. More Valakuts. Uh-huh. Sure. Can our opponent kill us somehow, though? Kills our birds. Yep. That's fine. Goes attacking. Well, let's block and block. Crack this. Get a forest. And just regenerate our Troll. Primeval Titan, number 1 down. I guess we don't even need... So many keywords, I'm losing track. We didn't even have to do that. Well, let's Satyr Wayfinder. Go digging. Take a... Oh, there goes our Soulflayer. Take Windswept Heath. Get in with our Soulflayer. Play Windswept Heath. Pass the turn. Pulse and Marasa. Okay. As long as it's not killing Worship, we don't really care what our opponent does. Cracks Wooded Foothills. Gets a forest. Cracks Wooded Foothills. Forest. Farseek. Bunch of Valakut triggers. Uh-huh. Sure. I guess we better crack this. Crack Windswept Teeth. Get a Breeding Pool. Drop to 1. Lose our Wayfinder. More Titans. More not beating worships. When does our opponent run out of lands to find? The worst 4 Valakut triggers of all time. Yeah, you can hit us. Sure. Not gonna do much. Staying at 1. So Chromanticore would be the sweetest draw. Opponent. No attacks. Hallowed Fountain. Well, get in with Soulflayer. Go up to 5. Hit our opponent to 10. Play Hallowed Fountain tapped. Pass the turn. Oh goodness. Oh goodness. Seriously? I'm still not sure this beats us. That sounds insane, but I don't think it beats us. Hardcast Emrakul? Opponent's gotta be running out of lands. Gets a bunch of triggers. Yup. Still at 1. Kill a Primeval Titan. Soulflayer is just gonna take down this Emrakul. Opponent goes attacking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Block the Emrakul. Kill the Emrakul. Soulflayer more powerful than Big Mama Emrakul. Baltimeraza gets back the Emmer. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, now we do lose. Okay. Yeah? Well, that was unique. We did not deserve that. That was a little ridiculous. Surgical on Emrakul would be nice. I would like surgical. We just can't bring in that much. Maybe bring in Thought Seizes, go down Lingering Souls, go down Jace for surgical, Tassiger for surgical, try it like that. Dak! This is not great. Well, we'll keep Wayfinder. Wayfinder is good. So, Godless Shrine tapped, pass the turn. Forest for our opponent, and passes. Well, Polluted Delta, crack it. Get a Overgrown Tomb, untapped. Play Wayfinder. Whew, we got a land, alright. Get the land, pass the turn. Mountain for our opponent. And secure Tribe Elder. Well, go attacking with our Wayfinder. Opponent's gonna block. And sack. What if else crack it? Grab our Forest. And just get our Troll out there. Pass the turn. Opponent. Another secure Tribe Elder. And Search Suspended. Well, Steam Vents. Untapped. Get down a Worship. Go attacking. Opponent blocks. And sacks. And pass the turn. Stomping Grounds, untap. Titan time. There's the Titan. Gets 2 Valakuts. And passes. Birds of Paradise. Doesn't do anything now. Well, Windswept Teeth. Pass the turn. We really need to find a way to get rid of the Emrakuls. Also, our opponent could very well have brought in answers to worship now. Opponent gets in with Primeval Titan. Gets more lands. I still can't believe how we lost that first game. Valakut triggers, yep, whatever. I guess we do have to crack our Windswept Teeth. Get a Hallowed Fountain, tapped. Yep, down to 1. They have a sideboard card. Back to nature! Okay. Interesting. Well, that was weird. And we found a way to lose. A very interesting way to lose, but a loss nonetheless. Alright, against the odds time, playing some Chromantiflayer Worship in Modern, and oh boy, I think we got to mulligan the one-lander. Oh dear. Well, I guess we try this. It is amazingly slow. Temple Garden to the bottom. Temple Garden for our opponent, untapped. And Noble Hierarch. Blood Crypt tapped. Pass the turn. See what our opponent's doing. Opponent gets in for 1. Down to 19, and Forest, and passes. More Chromaticores. Well, let's see if we get to them eventually. Brushland. Is this like green-white Eldrazi? Opponent gets in. Down to 18. Well, crack Windswept Teeth. Get a Forest. Grizzly Salvage. We'll just take Wayfinder. Play Wayfinder. Let's take Polluted Delta. Play Polluted Delta. Crack Polluted Delta. Get a Godless Shrine. Tapped. Pass the turn. All the Chromaticores are in our hand instead of our graveyard. Yamaya Coast for our opponent. No Reality Smasher. Opponent goes attacking. Well, we'll take 1. That's fine. Down to 15. Eldrazi Sky Spawner. Yep. And passes. We get a Temple Garden. Well, play Wayfinder. Take Overgrown Tomb. Overgrown Tomb untapped. Flashback a Lingering Souls. And pass the turn. All of our worships, well, not all, but many of our worships have been milled. And one Soulflayer. There's the Thought-Knot Seer. I'm guessing our opponent just takes Thrun? Yep, takes the Thrun. No attacks. Explosives, X0. Gets rid of our spirits at some point. We'll play Breeding Pool, untapped. We're gonna run out our first Chromanticore. Probably gonna get Path, but play Chromanticore, pass the turn. Here comes Path. Yep, pass our Chromanticore. We'll take a Swamp. Brushland for our opponent. Hopefully not more Thought-Knots. That's a good last card for our opponent to have. Attacks with Thought-Knot. We'll block with a Spirit. Yep. Drawing a Path was actually pretty huge there. Play Temple Garden. Tapped. And pass the turn. See if our opponent blinks. No blink. Plays a land. We're still going to have to draw into something. Opponent blinks our Spirit. Okay. Blinks our Wayfinder. Okay. Milled 2 Soulflayers. We wanted those. Attacks, attacks, attacks. So we need to Path Displacer. We actually have a shot now. Block Thought-Knot. Drop to 9. We draw birds. Bestow our Chromanticore on our Wayfinder. Get in for 5. Gain 5. Also blocks all of our opponent's stuff. So our opponent's back to needing to top deck now. There's a lot of things they can top deck that'll beat us, but they do have to top deck to beat us. Stomping Grounds, untapped, play the birds, pass the turn. Well, come on, if our opponent whiffs for like 2 turns. Just a Hierarch. Alright, Hierarch doesn't do it. That's a whiff. Opponent can attack with Thought-Knot. That's fine. We can block with birds. So we'll just block with birds. Stay at 12. We draw more lands. Well, get in with our Satyr Wayfinder. More lands was not good. Opponent's down to 7. We're at 17. Play Flooded Strand. Pass the turn. Come on, whiff, whiff, whiff. We need whiffs. Displacer is the worst. Oh, no! Not a whiff. Not even close to a whiff. Oh, Thought-Knot. Thought-Knot doesn't do it. It doesn't do it. We have nothing in hand. Thought-Knot's actively bad here. Okay, still in it, still in it. One more, we need to fade one more draw step. One more. We got nothing. Just lands. We could also just peel another Chromanticore, and that would just win us the game on the spot. So opponent gets in, we take it. Down to 11. One more turn, or a Chromanticore off the top. Crack our Flooded Strand. Sacred Foundry. Come on, Chromanticore off the top. Grizzly Salvage. For Chromanticore for the win? No. But we'll take Tasigur. Get in with our Satyr Wayfinder. Opponent blocks. Drops to 3. Tasigur, the Golden Fang. Activate our Tasigur. See what we hit. Ugh. Birds of Paradise. Get back the birds. Play the birds. Play Wooded Foothills. Pass the turn. Well, this is it. Our opponent's got a top deck. They got a top decker. We got them. Chromanticore. What'd they draw? Oh! Ancient Stirrings! No! No! No, 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 no. Whiff, whiff, whiff. What do they hit? Displacer! Oh! No! 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 Okay. Oh, never mind. That does not beat us. Now our opponent loses. Oh, they have the mana, don't they? They just barely have enough mana. We get another land, mill our last Soulflayer. 1, 2, 3. They can just barely activate to blink our Chromanticore. Opponent passes. We need Chromanticore off the top. That's the bottom line. Chromanticore off the top wins us the game. Chromanticore? Wayfinder. That doesn't do it. I think that means we lose. Oh my goodness, they top decked it. Go to combat. Attack, attack. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Blinks it, blocks it, blocks it. The next card's going to be Chromanticore, isn't it? Yeah, it's game. I mean, we can play Worship, but it doesn't matter. All our opponent has to do is blink our Satyr Wayfinder. Not a May ability. We mill ourselves out. Game ends. Oh, no. Oh, my goodness. Oh, no. Now they can't do it. We're not dead. We're still drawing live. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. They can't get the blink kill. Attacks with Thought-Knot. Attacks with Displacer. So we'll block Thought-Knot. I mean, I still don't know what our odds are of winning over the long run, but... Deck. Really, deck? Really? Alright, that's game. Oh, We have so many Chromanticores in our deck, and we just can't draw them. Yeah, that's game. Oh, brutal. Yeah, probably bring in Fatal Push, I guess, and Damnation. Go down the Jace and a Lingering Souls. Try it like that. All right, we get to play first. Wooded Foothills, crack Wooded Foothills. Get a Forest and Birds of Paradise. Pass the turn. This hand's interesting. I don't know if it's good, though. Cavern of Souls on Eldrazi. Well, Steam Vents, untapped. Get down our Troll. Pass the turn. Next turn, we should be able to Wayfinder Tasigur. And there's Rest in Peace. That is annoying. Well, new plan. Blood Crypt. Get in with our Troll. Hit our opponent to 16. I guess we're just on the beatdown plan. Play a Thrun and pass the turn. Rest in Peace is pretty annoying. Plays a Forest. And there's a Sky Spawner. Okay. Well, we're going to keep attacking. Damnation could be good eventually. Although, kind of hurts our board. Attack with both. Opponent blocks. And blocks. Well, let's regenerate. And then Satyr Wayfinder for a land. Hopefully. Wayfinder. Oh my god, Wayfinder. You are the worst. Oh my. Our fail rate with Wayfinder is way higher than it should be. Opponent cracks Windswept Heath. Gets a Plains. Plays a Worship. They don't have creatures yet. We also get a Worship. Well, get in with everything. Opponent's at 7. Play a Worship. Pass the turn. Eldrazi Temple for our opponent. Here comes creatures. It's a Displacer. Opponent passes. We get a Wayfinder. Well, play Wayfinder. Take a Breeding Pool. Breeding Pool, tapped. Get in with our Trolls. Opponent goes to 1. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, we will regenerate. That's very surprising. Can't blink a hexproof creature. Whew. Alright. Opponent's back out of creatures. Is that a game-swinging play? Oh, is this all his dust? That's actually kind of okay. Because that gets rid of a lot of the annoying stuff our opponent had. And sort of turns our graveyard back on. Although, it's empty at the moment. Pass the turn. A mana short from doing anything. That Wayfinder whiff. Opponent plays a Breeding Pool. We draw more Soulflayers. Oh, what we would give for a Grizzly Salvage or a Wayfinder. Opponent passes. Stomping Ground tapped. Still can't cast anything. Another land for our opponent. And passes. Well, Wooded Foothills, crack Wooded Foothills, get a Sacred Foundry, tapped, and run out our Tasigur. Technically a lethal threat. Our opponent's got to have a million removal spells, though, if they're not casting anything. There's the path. Well, that gets us the black mana we need to cast stuff. Another land. Let's just play the worst Soulflayer. Just a 4/4. No abilities. Flooded Strand, pass the turn. We'd like to bestow our Chromanticore if we can. Yep, there's the next removal spell. Get our Plains. Opponent finds a Thought-Knot Seer. Down to 1 card, though, and we still have 2 threats. Or a Damnation if they take Damnation. Well, crack Flooded Strand. Get a Hallowed Fountain. Tapped. More Soulflayers. You know what? I think we just Chromanticore. Let's just cast it. Hope our opponent's last card is not the 3rd path. Or the 2nd All is Dust. And our opponent scoops it up! Whew, we got there! Whew, the fact that our opponent had to blow up their own board really saved us there. Worship A. We don't have a great plan for that. Let's bring in our Negate over a Caryatid, and maybe a Thoughtseize over a Lingering Souls. Try it like that. Okay. This hand's not bad. Brushland for our opponent, and Ancient Stirrings to start things off. Gets Eldrazi Temple, our least favorite card. Opponent passes. Well, Wooded Foothills, crack it. Get a Temple Garden, I think. And Birds of Paradise. Pass the turn. There's Eldrazi Temple. And Displacer? Yeah, there's Displacer. Oh, play Watery Grave tapped. Pass the turn. Leave up Negate, leave up Grizzly Salvage. More Temples. Ancient Stirrings. Good God. Can't avoid the double Temple draw. Another Displacer, okay. And a Thought Knot. So I think we let this go and just path it. I think that's what we gotta do. Path Thought Knot. We can't let this combo be assembled. So we draw a land, which is good. Takes Damnation. Grizzly Salvage. Well, we're gonna go for it. Grizzly Salvage. We're hoping just to set up a Soulflayer. No. So take Satyr Wayfinder, Godless Shrine, untapped, play Wayfinder. Hope our opponent doesn't have anything good in hand. There's our Soulflayers. Oh, man. Pass the turn. Third Temple. Good. Eldrazi. Displacer. Opponent goes attacking. We'll take 3. Another Worship. Well, let's spin the wheel. I guess we take Thrun. Play another Birds. Play Polluted Delta. Pass the turn. Fourth Temple? Goes attacking. Well, we will block the Displacer. Crack Polluted Delta. Get an Overgrown Tomb. Tapped. Oh, play Wooded Foothills. Crack Wooded Foothills. Get a Forest. Play Thrun. And pass the turn. Explosives X1. Okay. Cracks Explosives. Okay. Opponent goes attacking. Well, we'll block a Displacer. So now we kind of want to draw land. Or Soulflayer. Probably land most, though. We take 3. So the problem is we can't leave up Negate and Worship if we don't draw land. Down to 4. Polluted Delta. Crack Polluted Delta. Get a Swamp. Play Worship. Start attacking. So we have a Negate up, and we have a Worship. Let's see if this is enough. Pass the turn. The scary thing is something like Thought Knot, take the counter, then kill our Worship. Nature's Claim. Well, I mean, we got a counter. Counter Nature's Claim. There goes our Negate. Opponent gets in with both. Down to 1. We draw Steam Vents. Well, get in with Thrun. Worship number 2. And we just got to play the land. Our opponent knows we're empty-handed. This allows us to leave up, or this allows us to play a Chromanticore if we draw it. Displacer number 3. So Chromanticore's the draw. Chromanticore literally wins us the game. Chromanticore on the Thrun. Wow! Oh, that's it. Black, green, red, white, blue. Any color, off the top at the perfect time. Bestow it on Thrun for Xaxes? That should do it. We go attacking. First strike, flying, vigilance, trample. Also lifelink. Can't be displacered. Do we get it? I think we got it. And the GGs will... Oh, whoa! Oh, Chromanticore. Yes! Oh, that was so good. That was so sweet. Taking down Bant Eldrazi. Whoa! Sweet. So what do we learn this week about Chromantiflayer Worship in Modern? And overall, we only got in 4 matches because we had a couple of matches that went super long. Our opponent actually timed out in one of them, and the last match was also super long. But we ended up going 3-1 in terms of matches, and we won 6 out of our 10 games. So we're at like 75% for matches, 60% for games. Of course, small sample size, but the deck actually worked really well. We were able to beat some tier decks, and the combo was really solid. Soulflayer was super good. We actually hardcast Chromanticore a lot of the time, and the Worship backup plan, while not always game winning, was actually really sweet in this deck. It just naturally slots into it, and I love how the deck came together. It's really sweet when you see all the different pieces kind of synergizing with each other. We want the hexproof creatures for our Soulflayer plan. We also want them for our Chromanticore plan, so we can enchant them up with our Chromanticore, and that naturally leads us to Worship. So just all around, the synergy of the deck was really sweet, and it was a lot more powerful than it looked. So we have the downside that Graveyard Hate is still very good. If our opponent can get down a Rest in Peace, it really locks a lot of our best plays out of the game. It's not purely unbeatable, but it is super annoying, and it does shut down a lot of what we're trying to do. But then we still have Chromanticore, which was very impressive, especially when it was kind of Boggle style, when we could get up enough mana to actually put it on something. As a standalone threat, it's fine. It does have some weird natural advantages in Modern, in that it dodges Fatal Push because it's 5 mana, it dodges Lightning Bolt because it's 4 toughness, so we do dodge a couple of big removal spells. It still does get pathed, but I was amazed how consistent our mana was. It definitely helps to have not just the Birds of Paradise and Sylvan Carry addeds, but also Satyr Wayfinder, which was way more hit and miss than I would have liked, but helps us cycle through and find our lands. So, I mean, I don't think the deck is really going to win 75% of its matches over the long haul. That seems unlikely, but it seems like it's competitive enough to actually play and has enough good stuff going on. And more importantly, apart from one game against Eldrazi Tron, where it isn't even really a hard lock, we didn't even run into the game-ending Worship matches all that much. We lost to Titan Shift with Worship out. Our opponent had answers in Bant Eldrazi and in Tron, so we didn't run into Burn or Storm or some of the other decks where Worship is just our kind of free win card that buys us a ton of time. So the fact that we ran into kind of middling to poor Worship matches where our opponent had main deck answers, and we were still able to win most of those matches based on the power of Soulflayer just being absurd. I mean, we killed an Emrakul. We lost the match, but we killed an Emrakul with the Soulflayer. So that made me feel really good about the deck and its potential, because we will run into those free win matchups eventually. We just didn't hit them this time, but we will run into the Burns and the Storms and the Dredges that just really struggle to deal with a Worship. So I think in that sense, the deck actually is even better, or at least a little bit less grindy. And one of the things that I loved about the deck is, in past, when we've played Worship, we played Troll Worship on Budget Magic a long time ago. We had a really big problem closing out the game. We actually had a lot of games where we'd play through our entire deck. But this kind of solves that problem, because sooner or later, we're going to get a Thrun, we're going to put multiple Chromanticores on it, we're going to get down a huge Soulflayer, it's going to be trampling and indestructible and flying and lifelinking. So we have this way to close out the game quicker than like Troll Worship could, and that makes sure that our opponent has less time to draw into their answers, which is a really big deal and makes this deck a little bit better than some of the other Worship builds we played before. So overall, the deck was super sweet. We did some crazy things. We saw lots of Chromanticores. I really like the build. It synergizes well. It works well together. All the pieces really fit nicely. So overall, really happy with this one. I mean, of course, like I said, small sample size, keep that in mind. I don't expect that you'll just take this build just like this and go win a GP, because you're going to win 75% of the time. But it seems functional and pretty powerful in the modern format. So anyway, that's been our Against the Odds for this week. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, help us out by clicking that like button down below. And to keep up on all the latest and greatest, click that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to get alerts whenever we have new videos. And if you want to, check out some of our other sweet videos here and here.